Come ride the little train that is rolling down the tracks to the junction. Forget about your cares, it is time to relax at the junction. Lots of curves, you bet, and even more when you get to the junction.
Petticoat Junction.
There's a little hotel called the Shady Rest at the junction.
Petticoat Junction.
It is run by Joe. Come and be his guest at the junction.
Petticoat Junction.
Here's our lady M.D. She's as pretty as can be at the junction. Petticoat Junction.
Steve.
Oh, hi.
You know what I'm doing?
Well, let's see. Well, that's a tough one.
Working. I know it looks like I'm snoozing.
Yeah, you could have fooled me.
Actually, coming up with a plan that'll revolutionize our crop dusting business.
Oh, yeah?
You know what we're going to do? Abolish the plane.
You're kidding.
No. Now, here's what we do, see. Rig up a couple of giant kites. We send them up with two strings. One of them to control the kite, the other one to trip open an insecticide bag attached to the kite. The way I got it figured, a child can do it. What's the matter?
Joe, we get all the crop dusting business here in the valley, don't we?
Oh, sure.
Why?
Oh, we're the only ones with a plane.
And now you've come up with a scheme that'll show the farmers they can do it without us.
Yeah. Doggone, why do these good ideas always turn out so well until you wake up? Oh, well, I can't give up on her now. Let's see.
Hi, Steve.
Hi, Doc. Where is everybody?
Well, Billy Joe is having her hair washed, Bobby Joe is doing the washing, and Uncle Joe is...
Yeah, I know. I just woke him up.
Well, I guess that sort of leaves me in charge. What can I do for you?
Well, I heard there was a letter for me.
Oh? Oh, yes. Let's see. Bobby Joe put it somewhere for safekeeping. Well, it's not in the boxes. Let's see. Under the blotter? No. Oh. Steve's letter is in the drawer, but don't tell anybody, as it seems rather personal and confidential. How could she tell that? Oh, here's how she could tell. It's marked, personal and confidential. Hi, Steve. I see you got your letter.
Yeah.
We just happened to find your note. What's in it? Bobby Joe, it's personal and confidential. I know. When are you going to open it?
Well, I suppose now's as good a time as any.
Well, I'll stay. I can't stand the suspense much longer. What?
Wow.
What's in it?
It's amazing.
Amazing.
It's like a bolt from the blue.
Steve, what?
Huh? Oh, you want to know what's in it? All right. Here goes. I've just been offered a fabulous job in New York.
Steve, that's wonderful. Yeah. New York. Boy, I bet you sure hate to turn it down.
Why should I turn it down?
Why? Because to work in New York, you almost have to live there.
So?
So? You don't. You live here.
Bobby Joe, I wouldn't want this to come as a shock to you, but there is such a thing as moving.
Moving?
It did come as a shock.
But if you move, you won't live here anymore. Well, I'm just thinking of Betty Jo. How will she feel?
Well, how's she supposed to feel? It's a good job with a big company. Well, she'll be thrilled, right?
Well, I would hope so.
You'd hope so.
Well, I think what Bobby Joe is trying to say is that Betty Jo has lived here all her life. Her family's here and all her friends. It might not be too easy for her to think of leaving.
Yeah, but this is a big opportunity with a lot more money. You don't think she'll hate money, do you?
Oh, of course not. No, I'm probably all wrong. Maybe Betty Jo will like it.
But you don't think so, huh?
Hey, Bobby Joe, how about finishing the job here? Oh, hi, Steve.
Hi.
Guess what? Steve's just been offered a fabulous new job in New York. Oh, really? Gee, you're going to have a tough time convincing Betty Jo to go along with that. Come on, Bobby Joe. Oh, congratulations anyway, Steve. Oh, Steve, I'm afraid we've thrown a wet blanket on things.
A little soggy, maybe, but... See you.
Steve, still working. What you got in the letter?
Oh, it's a job offer from my old commanding officer.
Oh, a new job, huh?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, it's a pretty big one. A lot more money, and it's in New York.
No kidding. Boy, ain't that always the way? If you don't want them, they're always after you.
Whoopee. Hi.
Oh, hi, darling. What happened? You know, with the letter.
Oh, I got it.
Well?
It was from my old CO, Colonel Merrick.
And?
Well, he offered me a job.
Your daddy certainly is a fund of information. Darling, if it isn't classified, could I pry a few details out of you?
Well...
Oh, go ahead. I can still hear you. I just want to put her down.
Well, he's become the head of an aircraft instruments outfit. It's one of the biggest, and, well, he's putting together a new staff.
Go on.
He's looking for exceptionally bright young men.
Like you.
Well, I'm just a run-of-the-mill genius, but he seems to think I'll do. Anyway, he wants me, and the money's great, and there's a tremendous chance for advancement. We'd have to move to New York. I said we'd have to move to New York.
I heard, but she was dropping off so fast I didn't want to take a chance on waking her. Well, what have you decided to do about it?
The job? Moving to New York? Well, what could I decide?
I don't know. You're the man of the family.
Well, yeah, but you mean you'd go along with whatever I say?
Isn't that the way it's supposed to work?
Well, I guess, but, you really mean it?
Darling, you're the breadwinner for me and Kathy Jo. If we have to move, we have to move, that's all.
And you'd let me decide?
Mm-hmm.
You're some kind of girl, you know that? Well, I guess I better wire and tell him I accept.
Oh.
Okay, I'll tell him to forget it.
Oh, no, you do whatever you think is best.
You mean as long as we stay here?
No. No, I mean it. Honest.
You sure?
I'm sure.
You sure, you sure?
Sure.
Okay, it's all settled. I'll take the job. Betty Jo?
I said sure.
Yeah, let's just check it. I wanted to be sure you're sure with sure.
Sure. But
What do you mean by?
it's going to be awfully hard to tell my sisters.
Well, I haven't got it too easy myself, you know. I'm going to have to explain to Joe that we're dissolving the Carson Elliott Enterprise. Joe, could I talk to you for a minute?
Okay, just coming up with some improvements on my idea for using kites for crop dusting. Instead of kites, we send up a whole flotilla of balloons full of insecticide. Now, when they get up there 400 or 500 feet, we puncture them with a blast from a shotgun. And in addition to this, we sell advertising space on each balloon. I'll take it up the next board meeting of the Carson Elliott Enterprise.
Well, as a matter of fact, that's one of the things I wanted to talk to you about. I'm afraid we're going to have to dissolve the Carson Elliott Company.
Dissolve it? Why?
Well, with my moving to New York and taking this new job, I just don't see how it'd be practical to keep it going.
You actually going to take that job?
Well, it's a tough decision, but yeah, I think I will.
Yeah, I guess I would break up our partnership.
Well, I honestly feel bad about it, Joe.
Yeah, me too. You think you can get along without me?
I'll try to do my best.
Yeah, well, if you get in a bind, let me know.
I'll do that. And by the way, I won't be needing my plane on this new job, and if you want, I'll try to line up a young pilot so you can keep the business going.
You'd leave the plane here?
Well, if it'll help. We've built up some pretty good accounts here in the valley, and all you need is someone to fly the plane.
Well, that's no problem. I can get a guy to do that.
I don't know who it would be around here.
Well, you just leave that to me. You know, when you're starting a partnership like this, you want to get a guy you can push around. Oh, you know, I mean a congenial guy, one you get along with.
Well, you have someone like that in mind?
Made to order.
And he can fly a plane.
No, but any dummy can learn to do that.
Thanks.
All right, I'll go check him out now. Well, if it isn't Wendell, imagine running into you here. This is a surprise.
Joe, really, I don't see how this is such a surprise. You're down here at the shady rest stop where the cannonball comes in. I happen to be the engineer, and I stepped out of the cab as you came up. It seems quite normal to me. Now, if it was Sam Drucker who stepped out...
Okay. You ever thought about your future?
Well, no, not really. There was a time when I went to this lady who read tea leaves, and she forecast some amazing things. One day, she told me I was going to take a trip to this South Sea island where a pirate's treasure was buried.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
What else did she tell you?
I'll never know. I got so excited when she mentioned the buried treasure that I took a sip from the cup and drank the tea leaves.
Wendell, when I'm talking to you about your future, I mean your line of work. Right now, you're engineer on the Cannonball. Where do you go from here?
Well, I'm due in Pixley at 10:15.
No, I'm talking about your career. What comes next after the engineering?
Well, I never really thought about that. Frankly, I'm satisfied just being engineer of the Cannonball.
Well, what you're really admitting is that you're at the end of the line.
No, Joe, I'm at the shady rest stop. The end of the line is in Pixley.
Well, what I'm trying to tell you is that if you're ever going to amount to anything, you should have another line of work.
Well, what other line of work?
I'm glad you asked that. Come with me.
What are we doing here, Joe?
Wendell, I'm about to offer you the opportunity of a lifetime.
Oh, good, but could you hurry it up? I'm behind schedule.
I guess you heard that Steve's moving out of the valley.
Yes, and I was very saddened to hear it.
Of course, that'll mean the Carson Elliott Enterprises will be dissolved.
Oh, what a shame.
Now, wait till you hear the good news. Now, you better brace yourself.
I'm braced.
I'm making you my new partner. From now on, it'll be Carson Gibbs Enterprises.
Oh, that's very nice of you, Joe. Now, can I go?
Is that all you got to say? I just made you my partner.
Howdy, partner.
Howdy. Wendell, it's not quite that simple. As a partner, you'll be asked to contribute something.
All I have, Joe, is 40 cents in change and my key ring with the lucky rabbits.
No, I mean as a partner, you'll be asked to contribute some work or something.
Oh, well, what am I supposed to do?
As for myself, I'll take care of all the groundwork.
And what do I do?
Collecting of new accounts.
What do I do?
Handle all the billing, collecting the money.
What do I do?
Draw up all the contracts and all the legal matters.
Joe,
Huh?
what do I do?
Well, you'll fly the plane. I'll take care of the correspondence, the incoming, outgoing mail.
Joe!
Yeah?
It sounded to me like you said, I'll fly the plane.
Right, but after one easy lesson from me, there's nothing to it. Here, I'll show you. And one thing you got to remember, Wendell. Wendell? Wendell! Wendell! Where'd that guy go? A jackrabbit couldn't run that fast.
You're kidding. You can't actually mean you're leaving the valley.
Oh, yes, I can. Look, you don't seem to understand. I'm a married woman, and I have to go where my husband wants to.
Who made up rules like that?
That's just the way it is. Right, Janet? Well, in a sense, yes. Of course, a wife can influence her husband if she wants to. But I think you're being very sensible about it. I mean, even if you could talk Steve out of taking the job, it might make for trouble later on. He might resent it and hold it against you.
And besides, who knows, it might even work out for the best.
Well, you may all give up, but I'm going to stay in there fighting. Bobby Joe, aren't you forgetting something? It's not your husband, and it's not your life.
Oh, yeah.
Girls, I'd like you to do just one thing. Steve still isn't too sure that what he's doing is right. And I'd appreciate it if you'd sort of reassure him. You know, make him feel better about it. Of course we will. Right, girl?
Oh, sure, we'll do whatever we can.
Bobby Joe?
Oh, I'll lie, too.
Bobby Joe, well, what do you say when a man takes your sister away forever Dear, it's not forever.
Of course not. Why, you're always reading about sisters being separated in their youth and then being reunited 50 years later.
50 years later?
Yeah. Like you were taken away as a child and raised by gypsies. Or even wolves.
Well, if I have a choice, I'll take gypsies. Just don't make it any harder than it is. Okay? Okay.
You forget about this. I'm not interested in becoming your partner. Besides, I'm too shook up about Betty Jo and Steve leaving.
Oh, well, I'm shook up, too. But why not look at the bright side? It'll give you a chance to get out of this humdrum grocery business.
Well, I like this humdrum grocery business. And as for flying a plane, that's not for me. I gave up elevator shoes because they made me dizzy.
She's all set, Sam. Get in the cockpit.
Joe, I don't want any part of this.
Come on, Sam. I just want to show you there's nothing to flying a plane. I see the kidney beans, that's your gas gauge. Sauerkraut's your altimeter. Tuna fish, your oil gauge. The succotash, your hand mic. That's what you talk to the tower with. The cranberry sauce are the lights, and the tomato juice are your flats. Now, do you know what this is?
A butter churn.
No, that's what we call a stick. Now, when you want to take her off the runway, you push the stick forward.
Joe, I know very little about flying, but when you want it to rise off the ground, I think you pull this back.
One little technicality. Pick, 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 pick.
Well, they'll be picking me off the ground if I don't get it right.
All right, now show me what you do first.
Well, first, I call the tower and tell them I'm ready for takeoff.
Good. Oh, not the cranberry juice, the succotash.
Sam Duggan to tower. Sam Duggan to tower. I'm ready for takeoff. Ready for takeoff.
Oh, watch it, Doc. You're standing on the runway.
Sorry.
All right, Sam. Now let's give her a last-minute check. No, not the applesauce and the tomato juice. The kidney beans and the tuna fish. It's his first solo flight.
I sort of thought it was.
All right, Sam. Now let's see you take her off. Beautiful takeoff. Beautiful. Did you see how he cleared the runway?
Terrific. Soared right over the pickle barrel.
Okay, Sam, you're flying around now. You better take a reading on your sauerkraut. What does it say?
Says empty in saucepan, heat for 12 minutes, and add weenies.
No, you dummy. That's the altimeter.
Oh, 3,000 feet.
Okay, you better bring her in for a landing. Careful, Sam, you're coming in too fast.
What's wrong?
You didn't let down your tomato juice.
Tomato juice?
Now you flaps.
Oh, yeah, flat.
Oh, it's no use now. You've wrecked it.
Yes. Is this any way to run an airline?
Joe, I told you. I don't know anything about flying a plane.
You can say that again. You don't know your applesauce from your sauerkraut.
There you go, short stuff. By the way, you're one of the main reasons that we're moving. What do you think of the idea? Okay. I'm with you. Who am I trying to kid? This is the only reason I decided to stay here originally, to get away from all that. And to be with your mother. And as for you, this is the only place to raise kids.
Here's a telegram for you.
Thank you, Wendell.
I thought it might require an answer.
Well, and all the time I thought you were hanging around to find out what was in the telegram.
Oh, did you really think that? I was.
Please disregard letter.
Then you don't have to go after all. Oh, I'm so happy, and the whole valley will be overjoyed.
Wendell, there's more. I need you sooner than I thought. We'll expect you in New York by tomorrow night. Signed, Colonel Merrick.
Oh, dear.
Wendell, excuse me, but I gotta get packing.
I'm in total agreement.
Tomorrow night? It would be impossible to get there.
With the Colonel, nothing is impossible. Now, I'll fly my plane, and you and Kathy Jo and the furniture can come later.
Oh, golly, I don't know.
Betty Jo, if you don't want us to make the move, for Pete's sakes, just say so. But believe me, this is your last chance.
Steve, I want to do what's best for you.
Everything's right there on the panel, Elwood. Easy as ABC.
What's that thing there?
Well, that turns on the wing lights. These new planes are always changing things around. Like it in the fire, Elwood, there's nothing to it.
If there's nothing to it, why don't you take it up and fly?
Oh, yeah. Well, my pilot's license is only good for jet jobs.
What's that gadget over there?
Will you keep your hands off those things before...
That must be the gadget that makes her go.
Somebody come and get me out of here.
That sounds like my plane.
What's Steve doing?
That's not Steve, that's Uncle Joe.
Uncle Joe? He can't fly an airplane.
I think he's finding that out now.
What's going on? That's Uncle Joe. Oh, no.
He'll kill himself.
No, Mr. Elliott, it's okay. You can't get it off the ground.
Look, he's got it in the air. Steve, you've got to get him down.
Well, what'll I do? Reach?
Uncle Joe, don't go too high. What's that? He's trailing smoke. He's cropped us.
And there's almost a full load in there, too.
Don't waste it. Fly over a tomato patch.
Great idea, kid. Well, what do you think will happen?
I don't know, and I just hope it...
Oh, my God! He's not hurt! Oh, Uncle Joe! Are you all right? Honey, Joe!
He's not in there!
What? Where could he be? Look!
Help!
Somebody throw a rope.
Oh, no! Water tower!
Hi, everybody. Sorry, Steve.
You'll never get there tomorrow in this.
I got news for you. I'll never get there, period.
Steve, you mean you're not taking that new job?
Would you think I'd leave this valley defenseless with him flying over it?
Oh, darling, I'm with you. I was looking for an excuse to back out, too. Uncle Joe, you really did it.
Oh, it was nothing.
This afternoon, starting at 5, don't miss the fun and laughs on Amen and Give Me a Break. Then stick around for the action and adventure on Knight Rider and the A-Team. Now, stay tuned for Green Acres, next, here on TV 39.